Hello. Today we are going to start Unit 3, and Unit 3 consists of parallel and perpendicular lines. We are going to start with just identifying them, learning how to use the right notation, and then as we get toward the end of the unit, we're going to tie it back into slope and writing equations, so we'll see some algebra come back here. We are actually going to skip the constructions, so there won't be a day 2. A little bit difficult to do constructions without you being here and if you don't have a compass and protractor. So we're just going to skip those for now. So let's go to 3.1 day 1. All right, so we do have a few terms to define and maybe just clarify with symbols and things like that. Okay, so parallel lines, you know parallel lines are lines that do not intersect, but I'm going to add another term in there that's important. So what we're going to define parallel lines as coplanar lines that do not intersect. Coplanar, let me make that a better R. Coplanar lines that do not intersect. Okay, so not only just lines that don't intersect, they must be on the same plane. So let's draw an example of that. We'll make a plane. Okay, and then I'm going to draw two lines that appear to not intersect. So kind of like this. Now we do have a symbol to show they don't intersect, and I'm going to switch colors here. So sometimes you'll see it look like another arrowhead in the middle of the line, or sometimes it's a colored in triangle. So I'll go ahead and just do that here. Okay, so that's your proof right there. So like similar to how we did those tick marks for congruent segments, parallel lines have these little colored in triangles, or sometimes it'll be an arrowhead on there. Okay, so important piece here is they are on the same plane and they don't intersect. So skew lines are similar to parallel, in fact, but the only difference is they're not on the same plane. So skew lines are non-coplanar lines that do not intersect. Non-coplanar lines that do not intersect. Non-coplanar lines. So in order to accomplish that, we need more than one plane. So we can do this a couple of ways. Let's go ahead and draw another plane here. Okay. And so let's say I have a line down here. Okay. Now now that's just one plane. So my piece of paper is my plane. So I'm going to draw another line coming from the top and then exiting out this plane. So maybe it's going like this. It's coming from the top and it's intersecting right here. And then now it's behind the plane. It's all the way behind the plane, and now we can see it. So they're not intersecting right here because remember, my new line or my red line is coming from the top. So it's like you have a plane here, and then we have another line coming from the top. So the two lines are not intersecting. Okay, so that would be skew lines. They are non-coplanar lines, they do not intersect. Now they generally are going in different directions because even if I had one line here and then I had another line coming from above to intersect, I could, if they're positioned in such a way, they could be picked up on a plane. Okay, parallel planes are planes that do not intersect. Planes that do not intersect. Okay, and so this sometimes is a little hard to draw. So I'm going to try to draw like a plane up here and then a plane down here. So let's just kind of start. Here's a plane. And to try to show one that is not intersecting it, I'm going to have it kind of hidden for a while. So I'm going to have it hidden back here. And then hidden over here. So hopefully that gives you your visual of like, one plane is up here, whoops, and the other plane is below it. Okay, so planes that don't intersect. Don't really have markings on the plane like we do on lines here. Another item that is important is the parallel symbol. So like if I were trying to say that two things were parallel, sometimes it looks like this. Like I might say that like A is parallel to B. So this right here is the parallel symbol. And it looks like the two L's in the word parallel. Okay, so we'll start to see that symbol quite a bit. Okay, well let's do some identifying here in this example below. All right, this says to think of each segment in the diagram as part of a line. So even though we see segments, we're going to answer these as if they were lines. Which line or lines in the diagram appear to fit the description? So parallel to line AB. So again, we're going to pretend this goes out further. So that doesn't intersect the line. It has to be on the same plane. So I need to look at this bottom plane right here. So in the back here, CD is going to be a parallel to AB. So CD, and so we're going to put the line symbol above it because we're trying to name something parallel to that line. Or it could be called DC. But that's the only answer here. There are no other lines parallel to AB. All right, skew to AB. So I don't want it to intersect AB, but it can't be on the same plane. So CD is not skew. It doesn't intersect it, but it's on the same plane. So in the back here, ED, so it's coming straight up and down or slanted, but it's never going to intersect AB. So ED, line ED. And EC is also skew. See how it's going a different direction on a different plane, never going to intersect. EC. Okay, and I think that is it, just two of them there. Okay, let's name another line parallel to BC this time. So BC is over here, so on the same plane would be AD, line AD. Okay? Okay, well let's keep going to the next page. All right, I think what I'd like you to do is pause the video right here, and I want you to go ahead and answer 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, number 1, or actually on all these, fill in the blank. Parallel, skew, perpendicular. DE, and CF. Okay, those are going to be skew. They are not going to intersect, and they are on different planes. AD, BE, and CF. Those are all parallel to each other. Planes ABC, so this triangle in the back, and DEF. So those two are parallel. They're never going to intersect. And then line BE at the top, AB over here. So these are going to be perpendicular. So they intersect at point B, and this is a triangular prism. So these are rectangular faces. So the corner intersection point here is the corner of a rectangle, which is a right angle. Perpendicular. Okay. All right, I am going to stop this video here before we go on to the next section. So when you finish through this, go ahead and move on to the next video.